The marble statue of a youthful Hercules is a large piece, standing over 8 feet tall. Made of marble sometime between 69 to 96 AD by an unknown artist, this piece is representative of the early imperial or Flavian period. The Flavian period is known for the number of commemorative constructions, including the Arch of Titus and the Colosseum, originally known as the Amphitheatrum Flavium. Known exactly where the statue originates from, but many historians believe it would have decorated the public baths that the Emperor Nero constructed near the Pantheon, located in Athens, Greece. It is also believed that this piece would have been part of a pair of statues. The two statues would face each other from opposite ends of a courtyard. The second statue was most likely a statue of an older Hercules to contrast the youthful and idealized figure seen here. The figure can be seen with a relaxed stance, known as contrapposto. The statue has an extremely idealized physique, and the face has a domineering and powerful air. All of these traits are commonly found in statues of Hercules, one of the most famous heroes of the Greek and Roman world. Or, as Thomas R. Martin states, the only hero to whom cults were established internationally all over the Greek world was the strongman Heracles, or Hercules as his name was later spelled by the Romans, whose superhuman feats in overcoming monsters and generally doing the impossible gave him tremendous appeal as a protector in many city-states. Heroes themselves were incredibly important to the Roman people, and were subject to worship as avid as that to the gods. Hero worship was closely linked to ancestor worship, and was often particular to specific towns and cities, often the place where the hero was supposedly buried. Hercules is one of the few heroes that is worshipped and remembered across the Roman territories, since the tales of his accomplishments were so great. Unlike when worshipping the gods, where the supplicant raised his or her head to the sky, hero worship was always directed at the ground. This was because the hero, while being considered immortal in that they could rise to the aid of the supplicants, was still dead and not, as the gods were, in Olympus. Thus sacrifices would be made to the hero, with the choicest piece of meat being offered up to the hero in payment for their deed. Liquids, such as wine or honey, were also poured over the gravesite of the hero in the hopes that the hero would rise to the aid of the supplicants. Hercules was unique among heroes because he was considered to actually have undergone the process of being immortalized after death, known as apotheosis. As Thomas R. Martin said, important both to the community and to individuals were what we call hero cults. Rituals performed at the tomb of a man or woman, usually from the distant past, whose remains were thought to retain special power. This power was local, whether for revealing the future through oracles, for healing injuries and disease, or for providing assistance in war. Because of the power associated with heroes, and Hercules' particular level of fame, mention of Hercules and his accomplishments are mentioned throughout Greek and Roman literature, and his influence continues on throughout history. Titus Livius, more commonly known as Livy, was the author of the History of Rome, a compilation of 142 books that track the history of Rome from 386 BCE to 9 BCE. Many of these books were published under Augustus's reign. Livy describes in Book 1 of the History of Rome the founder of Rome, Romulus, setting up the city. The worship of Hercules is set up specifically when Rome is being founded, and Hercules' background and life are given special attention by Livy when documenting the history of Rome. Hercules is later called on as a son of Jupiter and praised for his works. Hercules is singled out for special worship and told that he will join the company of gods, a huge honor. Julius Vergilius Maro, also known as Virgil, wrote the Aeneid, one of the most famous epic poems, which centers on the travels of Aeneas, a man in despair after the Trojan War, whose destiny it is to travel to Italy to found Rome. Hercules is mentioned in the Aeneid in Book 8 when Aeneas goes to Pallanteum, where Evander and other citizens are worshipping Hercules. Evander explains that they hold a yearly festival, thanking Hercules for killing Cacus, a fire-breathing giant. Evander even goes so far as to call Hercules our god. This statue, with its godlike physique and cold, contemplative look, embodies the strength and power associated with Hercules. He was a unique hero in the Greek and Roman world, and stories of his exploits continue to be told even today.